Hello people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am a little sick today, so this was going to be a quick review of the Earthrise Starscream. I just got this yesterday, and I wanted to show it off. This was a last minute decision, so this was the last one on the shelf, so I decided, why not? So I got it. So, first impressions are, everything looks great. It reminds me of the Masterpiece Starscream a little bit because of all the panel lines and the extra detail that are there. For instance, like the thrusters and the things right over here, and the head sculpt is really nice. Bringing it for a closer look, you see there's a little red in the eyes and the silver mouth, and yeah, looks really good. And there's a lot of painted parts, like red. You can see there's some paint scratch from in there. You can see some from right there a little bit, maybe. And it's more pronounced on this side. See right there? Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. And it's especially bad at the crotch flap. And the paint, there's, just remove that. There's some paint rub on there and there. Moving on to the legs, they are good looking. So it reminds me of the MP11 because of the wings, the tail fins. The MP11, I believe, had the wings positioned like this, but that doesn't look right, and it can't stand. So what they do, I can't do that, but whatever. There's a lot of paint here, or not that much. There's some vents in the knees. There's the other side. I believe this red and this white are painted, and I believe this part, that part, and the vents up here are painted, I believe. On the feet, there's some sculpted things, like here, and there. And there's some ports where you can, there's some ports there and there where you can put some effect parts. So it looks like he's flying. But what's the use of effect parts when you're not flying? That's where there's a stand hole right there where you can plug a stand into. Unfortunately, I don't have one, so I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to wait to get one of those stands. Moving on to the posability. The head is on a ball joint, which allows for some side to side, and it can look up decently far and down, and you can get some barely noticeable head tilting. The null rays are on a peg that goes into the arm, allows them to rotate. Arm moves out, and there's a rotation. The wings might get in the way of that, but you get a hinge, the wings can move out of the way for that. Bicep rotation. Single joint elbow that gets you a little past 90 degrees. No waist posability, but I don't know how they could have done that. This crotch flap is one piece. Allows for a tight rotation at the hip. And move back that far. Very nice spread. Thigh swivel. Bend at the knee. This piece sometimes goes untabbed, but you just have to go around it. Bends a little more than 90 degrees. I think he's coming untabbed. See, a little more than 90 degrees. Reverse toe bend. that's more for the transformation, and same thing with the heel, and you get a decent pivot. But if you pull more, you can get it a little deeper, but it somewhat goes back up. So the posability on here is pretty good, but nothing too special. I'm going to start with the transformation. Take the null rays off of the arms. You can set them off to the side, or you can put them on the wings, like you can put them on the wings over here, like I do. So first thing you do is rotate the arms, and you open that part. That flips forward, and then you fold the fist up, and you collapse the arm. Make sure that piece goes into there. See, right there. And you'll fold that down, make sure that clicks, and then fold the fist. Same thing to the other arm. Again, make sure that piece goes into the hole where the fist was. This one is a bit harder to push in, but I got it. Next, fold those down. And then the next thing you want to do is take this nose cone piece back here, lift it up, fold it in front of the face, and then clip it together like that. Next, you want to lift this up and release these tabs, which allows the entire torso to come apart, which allows that to swing back. Then you want to pull this forward. You can rotate it around. Then, before you close everything up, fold in the arms. Make sure the fists are folded up. And then close everything up. Then make sure that piece is flush with that, and make sure those pieces are together. And next, we'll get to the wings last, onto the legs. Take the wings, rear tear fins, make sure that piece tabs into there, and that will simultaneously move the heel with it, and then fold that down. Same thing with the other leg. Then these two tabs will tab in together. There you go. Next, you want to lift this crotch flap up, and then you want to open up this, which reveals hollow legs, and then you want to collapse the legs into there. And make sure those two tabs go into there. On mine, it's really hard to get them in, but once you get there, it's good. And I forgot to fold this one down. Make sure you do that. Next, fold down the wings. That will lock into place. Make sure there's no seams, or make sure they're tabbed together properly. Same thing to the other side. Come on. There we go. Come on, stay. So I finally got that wing into place. That was a nightmare to try to get in. Still a little seaming. I'll just deal with it later. Anyway, this jet mode is, like I said before, very similar to MP11, which I sorely don't have. But this is my first Starscream figure that I have, so what can you do? The jet mode is sleek. It's really nice to handle. There's a lot of panel lines, but I don't really care. The Decepticon logos are here and here. Really nice sculpting work and nice paint job. Sadly, there isn't an opening cockpit, but there is a sculpting cockpit. If you look at the bottom, geez. But you're not gonna, this doesn't really matter because you're not gonna display it like this, so this doesn't really matter. And you can see the little head poking out there. Anyway, there's no landing gear, but I guess you can simulate landing gear using these four knee things and this this piece right here. Just set them on the round, and that's it. These wings can also fold down. I forgot to mention that in robot mode, but you're not going to really use it. Moving on. Here he is next to Siege Megatron. These two are about the same size, but not really. Due to the length of the gun on Siege Megatron, it reaches the same size as Starscream, but Here he is next to Thomas Adventure's Lights and Sounds. Space Thomas. Similar in a way that they have jets, and this one is a jet. That's a jet. So that's just giving you an idea how big it is. So, final thoughts. This figure is amazing. Well, not overly amazing, but it's pretty good. The articulation is a little limited, but it will suffice. All things need for dynamic poses. The sculpting, really nice. There's a lot of paint, but it's very prone to paint chipping. And the transformation can be a little troublesome at times. For instance, like trying to get this nose cone over the head. That gives me some trouble sometimes. And the bottom fin wings can be a little fidgety. But overall, I say this figure, I would recommend this figure to anyone who's a fan of Starscream. Or anyone who's just wanting a Transformer and they just want one. At $30, this thing doesn't really justify that price point, but that's only because this guy and this guy are both $30, but I'll deal with it. Anyways, good figure, recommend it, and I give this thing a 7.2 out of 10.